Hey everyone, this is week 2 of the vlogs, and a lot of you guys liked it. I saw a lot of supportive comments, so I'm really excited that it had some warm reception. It's a little bit of a deviation from my standard non-stop Tetris videos, battle royales, victory royales, you name it. So week 2, some general updates. I'll start off with some Tetris related things, and then we'll transition over to some Tetris things after. So first off, general life updates. Was really rooting hard for CLG to make it into playoffs for League. Unfortunately, that didn't quite happen. And now we're in another off season, unfortunately. But this is where I guess my time comes to shine, or my time is to shine rather. We are now in the off season. We aren't going to MSI. We don't have any playoff aspirations, but happy to announce that I did get a minor promotion. I am now the head of data and analytics for the esports department. So now it's up to me to look over and accumulate and aggregate data just to see where we want to go with the lineup up ahead for League of Legends. Of course, it's a group decision. There's a bunch of different talking heads, that decide this at the end of the day. But now I can say that I'm going to be playing a large part in helping out the league roster and all the esports teams at CLG. So I'm really excited for that. It's going to be really busy over the next couple of weeks, though. Also, this weekend, I spent a little bit of time with my wife and some friends. We watched the movie Us, Jordan Peele film, a little bit of scariness. Don't want to go to Santa Cruz. I thought it was a pretty good movie. Definitely had some scares. I thought the build-up and the tension of, I'm not going to reveal too much, was interesting. That the plot twist was interesting, and my apologies. I'm not going to reveal too much beyond that. Sorry if you're watching this vlog and for whatever reason got it spoiled. Whoops. Didn't think it was a life-changing movie. It was a good movie. Had some scares. So it's probably like a 7.5 out of 10. It was a good movie. Not life-changing. Thought it was a little bit of overhyped. And I guess up ahead, just talking Tetris aside, I really want to just kind of talk about, life lessons in the sense of, like, how do you get really good at games? And I really break it down to 3 skill sets. Some games, there might be other stuff, but it really boils down to 3 M's. Mechanics, micro, and the macro. And I guess there's a 4th one of reads, but that doesn't really play too much in Tetris 99 given the atmosphere. So mechanical, meaning that is your movement. Are you dropping fast? Are you rotating quickly? Are you moving optimally? So it's pretty much like your finesse, your speed, and your accuracy. And in Tetris, you need to make sure that's top notch, or else it's going to be hard to beat a person that's just simply way faster than you. In terms of micro, in terms of the tactical decision making, is just making sure that you're putting the pieces in the most optimal spot. So even if you can move fast and your mechanics are really good, are you dropping in the right spots? Are you maximizing your damage? Are you maximizing the efficiency and all that stuff? And then third part's like macro strategic. And this kind of plays a role in battle royale games where it's like, how do I win the game? Of course, you want to think of things like, how do you accumulate badges? What's your overarching strategy? Do you need to pivot your strategy? So I guess if we're going to talk about board games also, this is probably a good way to highlight it. If you're playing Settlers of Catan, you see the initial board, you form your strategy to get your 10 victory points. And like, let's say, for example, you start with ore and wheat, then you're most likely going to go for a heavy, city build. But if you go for wood and brick early, then you have to win based on longest road, getting early settlements, and letting that carry you before the exponential effects of another player having ore and wheat come in. So all these play a role in games. I would say that overall, for me personally, I'm reasonably good at all 3, but I realize I need to push myself further. What tends to happen with most players is they index very strongly on one of these 3 categories, and they use the strength of one, part of their muscle group or their gaming DNA, and they use that to compensate for the weaknesses of their weaker points in their game. So for me personally, mechanics has never been my strong point. Although it looks like I build fast, I don't build quite as fast as like Wombo or the other players you see. This has plagued me in Melee. My Sheik is smart, it gets reads, it's strategic, it has a good understanding of situations and like the awareness of what options are available. But unfortunately, I'm not very technical, so that does limit me in some aspects. So one of my personal things to kind of push myself to the next level of Tetris is really working on my mechanics. One of the biggest things I worked on is how do I shift from left to right. Prior to this video, I used to just rapidly tap left or right. So if I need to go right 4 spaces, I would press right 4 times on the pad. Unfortunately, given how Tetris works, that's going to be way slower than just holding the button, holding the right button in this case, and letting it drag. And I'm not quite used to the timing of the midway point. So let's say we want to go a couple columns, but not all the way to the side. Being able to maximize the speed where you're holding A button and then you're letting it flow to a direction and then pressing up the hard drop button at the exact right time is something I'm just not quite used to, but something I realize that I need to learn if I want to elevate my game. So that's a personal investment that I'm working on. And I guess to forward this to you guys might be strong in one aspect. Begin to ask yourself, is there a way that you can kind of limit one muscle so that you can let the other muscles grow? And of course I could go with the tapping technique. I can just tap, and that reasonably gives me a lot of success. I'm probably going to get more victory royales because I'm a lot more accurate. But in terms of personal improvement and development, in terms of my skill, I'm not going to grow much if I keep doing that. So I'm willing to take the loss here and use a different technique in terms of how I move my buttons to make sure that I can invest in the long term. And this is actually really important. In whatever game you play, whether it's Catan, Smash, fighting games, League of Legends, you want to make sure that you're not overly compensating on one aspect of the game and ignoring your weaknesses. Just to bring it back to Smash, another common example is when a person really relies on tech skill and their mechanical ability to outplay their opponents. And when they lose, they think, well, I got to develop more tech skill and I got to be faster. That's true and all, but there comes a certain limit, and there's an upper limit to just developing that technical ability, that you need to start developing strategies and an understanding of the gameplay and the options available before you can, reach a new level. So I would say most players, to become truly elite, you need to be at least like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 on all the categories. And you probably need to, and most people specialize in one, and they're usually a 10 out of 10 on whether it's mechanics, their strategic mind, or their tactical understanding of the game. But it's important to have all 3. And if you ignore one too long, then you can become good or even great at the game, but you will never really become elite. So just make that conscious effort for yourself to say, like, hey, like, what is my weak point, and how do I focus on training that kind of developmental point of your skill set so that you can continue to evolve your game. Other than that, I'm really excited. Lots of misdrops are happening, by the way. It's been a little bit of a struggle. Schedule up ahead. I want to stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday night. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and maybe Wednesday this week for Twitch at like about 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. on twitch.tv/Tafokins. And for the rest of the week, you might be wondering, well, what the heck? What is he doing Friday, Saturday? I actually might be able to stream Friday, actually, the more I think about it. I'm actually going to Vegas this weekend or this upcoming weekend with Mango. We're going to go to Vegas. We're going to degen it up, so I'm going to take the next weekend off. But I'm going to try to remain consistent on the YouTube content, do the weekly vlog ahead in advance, and at least try to get a video up at least 6 days of the week. So that's the plan up ahead. You guys hopefully will see some exciting updates of the DGN weekend, not next week, but like 2 weeks from now, because it's going to extend to Monday, and I usually do these vlogs on Sunday. So look forward to that, and have a great weekend, everybody. You guys deserve a break.